Hello friends, my name is Mohsin Mullah and I welcome you back to this yet another video lecture series on Unit 6 of Industrial Automation and Control. Okay, so far we have seen various video lecture series on the various units from unit number 2 to unit number 5. So similarly here also we are going to have around 7 to 8 simple short video lectures of around 20 minutes each. Okay, so now this unit number 6 is particularly it concentrates more on the pneumatic control aspect of the process control. Okay, so here we are going to see what is pneumatic control, what are the components of the pneumatic control, and what are the various ways in which we can use this pneumatic control methodology in order to obtain the various control operations. Okay, so the very first here is the pneumatic control components. So here the introduction part, a number of pneumatic components are present in a process control scheme. In earlier days the complete control system was built up on these components. With the advent of electronics, many of them are now replaced by electronic components. Still then, the importance of the pneumatic components cannot be underestimated. Many of the industrial actuators used in steel and automobile industries nowadays are pneumatic. The major advantages of using pneumatic systems are: 1. They are intrinsically safe and can be used in hazardous atmospheres. 2. Cheap compared to hydraulic systems. Air costs nothing because it uses air and hydraulic system uses fluid. 3. Advantage is a pneumatic actuator can generate more torque or force to its own weight and thus have a better torque weight ratio compared to an electrical actuator. Force weight to torque ratio is better here. Okay, so however pneumatic components are slow in response. In this lesson we are going to see few of the ways in which the pneumatic control can be used. So the very first is flapper nozzle amplifier. Okay, so here basically this type of pneumatic control system operates with air. The signal is transmitted from the variable air pressure, which is in the range of 3 to 15 psi. Okay, and that is 0.2 to 1.0 bar pressure bar that indicates the control action. So in this range we can obtain the control action. One of the basic building blocks of a pneumatic control system is the flapper nozzle amplifier. It converts very small displacement signal in order of microns to variation of air pressure. The basic construction of a flapper nozzle amplifier is shown below, and here a constant air pressure of 20 psi is supplied to one end of the pipeline, and then there is an orifice at this end. At the other end of the pipe there is a nozzle and a flapper. The gap between the nozzle and the flapper is set by the input signal. As the flapper moves closer to the nozzle, there will be less air flow through the nozzle and the air pressure inside the pipe will increase. On the other hand, if the flapper moves farther from the nozzle, the air pressure decreases. At the extreme, if the nozzle is open, flapper is flat off, the output pressure will be equal to the atmospheric pressure. If the nozzle is completely blocked, the output pressure will be equal to the supply pressure. A pressure measuring device in the pipeline can be effectively show the pressure variation. The characteristics is inverse and the pressure decreases with the increase in the distance, and the typical characteristics is also shown in the figure here. Okay, so that is the theory part of it. Now let us see the actual working with the help of this figure over here. It is a very simple working principle here. Now there is a air supply available at a particular air pressure, say which is 20 psi. As it is mentioned in the theoretical part, it will be at 20 psi. So that pressure is a high pressure. Okay, and the required output pressure is between 3 to 15 psi. So now to obtain the required output, so we have to make use of certain controlling mechanism. So that controlling mechanism is obtained with the help of a flapper. So here is a flapper which is pivoted at a pivot point here. So that is, it is movable in this direction and in this direction with respect to that pivot point. Okay, so now when this particular flapper is say completely closed with the help of this flapper if the nozzle is completely closed here. So when it is touching that front face of the nozzle, then it is completely closing the nozzle. So what will happen, whatever pressure is available here, so entire pressure will be available in the output. So 20 psi will be available here. Okay, so we do not want the 20 psi, we want little bit lesser than that, say 15 psi. So 5 psi we need to reduce. So in order to reduce the 5 psi pressure, we have to increase this displacement towards other side. We have to move it away from the nozzle point. So therefore this flapper is moved towards the other point. So as the flapper will open the nozzle here, so what will happen, some amount of air will start going through this vent available here, opening available here. Okay, so because of that what will happen, so the pressure here starts decreasing. So the pressure whatever was here, so it will start decreasing. So we will move the flapper away from this nozzle so as to obtain the required 15 psi. So when the 15 psi pressure is obtained, so in that case the flapper is held in that particular position. So that is its equilibrium position, and with that position, so always the pressure available here will be 15 psi. So here one more thing you can understand, this is a open loop system. It is without any feedback. Okay, directly we are obtaining the control here. So now this pressure, whatever 15 psi pressure is used, so this pressure can be used to move certain piston here to get certain work done. So this 15 psi pressure can be used to move a particular piston to get some work done. Okay, so that is what you can say flapper nozzle. So flapper is used to control the output pressure here. So here is a characteristics of the same flapper operation. So here the characteristics is the displacement of the flapper and the output pressure. So output pressure against flapper displacement. As the distance of the flapper will increase from the nozzle, so as here it is increasing in the x-axis, so what is happening, the pressure is decreasing. So if the flapper is closed, say it is at the 0, flapper is closed means no displacement. Okay, so it is closed completely to the nozzle. So therefore whatever pressure is available, that is the input pressure of 20 psi, and when we want the say 15 psi, then we have to move the nozzle accordingly at this particular position here. So this is the position. So around about say 4 or 5 millimeters. Okay, 5 millimeters, less than 5 millimeters when we move the nozzle, at that time we are able to get the required 15 psi of pressure. Okay, so this is the characteristics of flapper nozzle amplifier, and it is an important point, so you need to remember and prepare as it is. Okay, so now that more detailed theoretical part we are not going to see, that mathematical calculations and all, as it is not going to appear for your examinations. Now next is very important component once again in pneumatic control systems is air relay. The major limitation of flapper nozzle amplifier is its limited air handling capacity. As we mentioned, it is 3 to 15 psi. The variation of air pressure obtained cannot be used for any useful applications unless the air handling capacity is increased, because we sometimes require more air pressure. So in that case the air flapper kind of operation does not suit, as it is only limited by certain air pressure range of 3 to 15 psi. The situation can be compared with an operational amplifier in an electronic circuit. Though the operational amplifier is useful in amplifying small voltage signals, the output current delivered by the operational amplifier is limited, and a power amplifier is used at the output stage in order to drive any device. So operational amplifier, it definitely does the amplification, but as we know, in case of operational amplifier there will be a limitation on the output obtained here. Why the limitation will be there? Because it will be limited by the available supply here. Okay, so that whatever plus VE, VCC and minus VEE we consider, so this will give the saturation. Okay, so the current will be either in the positive direction or the negative direction depending upon the inverting and non-inverting, so it will be saturated, it does not go beyond. So from there onwards we again need to use a power amplifier. So power amplifier are basically used for high power applications. So similarly here air flapper air nozzle nozzle flapper will be giving us the required amplification operation just like a normal amplifier, but in order to get the high power we need another component which is called as air relay kind of valve operations. Okay, so here it is used after the flapper nozzle. That air relay operation is used after the flapper nozzle to enhance the volume of air. Okay, so just like power amplifier will be used after the normal operational amplifier, here air relay is used after the flapper nozzle amplifier to enhance the volume of air. The principle of operation of air relay can be explained with the help of this diagram over here. Okay, so now here what you need to see is there is a air supply. Okay, so that air supply will be going through. So here there is another you can say restrictor valve, because sometimes what will happen, the pressure available will be in terms of too large value. Sometimes we do not want entire air pressure available. Okay, so we want some part of that. So again there is a restrictor valve used to control that air pressure in the beginning. Okay, and whatever air pressure is available, that we are considering at say 20 psi or so. Okay, so in this case we maybe consider it more than 20 psi because we are talking about high pressure applications now. Okay, so now here this air pressure will be directly connected, whatever that pressure is coming here, air supply pressure, so that air supply pressure is connected to this line, and here that will be controlling this particular diaphragm here. Okay, and as well as the air is coming inside from this, so the output will be available only from here. Okay, so now output will be available from this particular point here. So now suppose here again there is a air flapper operation used. So air flapper, what it does, so here as we cannot use the entire air pressure in this valve, so we are using this another area here to increase the volume of the air. So here lot of air will be available. So basically what will happen, so here there is a double seated valve, so that can be closed from both the sides, so lower side also and upper side also. Okay, so now when the air supply is available here, so that air supply will push the valve below and it will close this opening, but that air supply is also taken from this side and this P2 will increase, so diaphragm will increase. So increase in the diaphragm will cause the movement of this valve to be shifted above. So because of that, what will happen, so this valve will be moved above, so there will be opening available here, and with that opening we will be able to get the output, air output here. Okay, whichever is the required value to us. Okay, so with the help of this restrictor valve we can control the here the displacement Y, and we can get the required output pressure, as well as we can use this flapper here in order to control the pressure P2. Sometimes pressure P2 will be too large. In that case we can open this flapper to reduce the pressure P2 and get the output accordingly. We do not want the output to be very high, we want sufficiently high but not too very high. So in order to control the output, again this P2 is to be controlled. To control that P2, again it is going to be controlled from this flapper nozzle, that is by displacement of Xi. Okay, so with the help of this air relay, so we are able to achieve higher pressure values, because the available air is available in this particular bigger kind of area, which will have a more volume of the air comparatively than this area. So this this air here is just used for the controlling operation, and the actual air which is required for the output is being used from this air relay portion of the entire system. Okay, so in this way the air relay does its operation. Okay, so further part of this video lecture I will continue in the second video lecture of the same topic. Till then, happy learning.